Whoa, this is The Illusion, reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. I'm on Interstate 10 and Terra Cruiser 3, heading out to the desert to skate an old school pool. Anyway, I'm taking care of some unfinished business that The Illusion's been requested to take care of, and I got an email or a Facebook post or something from a young man in Sweden talking about depression and suicidal thoughts. And he was like, is that something you can even tackle? And I go, you know what, man, I'm willing to give everything a shot. The truth is, I suffer from depression. I've had suicidal thoughts. Do I live in that state of consciousness anymore? No, because I've gone and sought help. Now, I don't know what that may be for any given person. For me, it involved my alcoholism. What's alcoholism? Alcoholism is my mind that obsessively tells me negative things. That obsessively tells me that I'm a failure, that I'm a loser, that nothing's gonna work out, that it's doom and gloom, right? And me being just a human being, I'll listen to the voice inside my head and I'll get super bummed out. I will get super depressed. And I don't want that voice inside my head to talk anymore. And I used to stop it from talking with drugs and alcohol, but they stopped working for me, so I had to find a different remedy for my affliction called my ego, my self-talking mind, right? The voice inside my head. So I had to begin to separate myself from the voice inside my head that A, tells me I should be depressed, that I deserve to be depressed, and myself that's saying I can't handle the thoughts going on in my head and I want them to stop, but I don't have a remedy to get them to stop, so I might as well just end it all, right? That's kind of how it all works. Well, the first thing is, are your thoughts real? Are your thoughts truly who you are? Or are they an outside entity that's invaded your mind? Is the enemy within? Is the enemy within you in the form of this voice inside your head that talks to you obsessively about whatever? Constantly causes you to judge people. Constantly tells you that your life sucks. Constantly tells you that everything you're doing is wrong. Constantly tells you that you're a failure, right? If that's what's going on in your head, is it truly who you are? Or are you a spiritual being created by source energy and are absolutely perfect, right? God doesn't make mistakes. But we as human beings, because we are so disenfranchised from our true spiritual self, we live in the world of the self-talking, obsessed mind, right? Which lives in either the future or the past. All the past mistakes or all the potential future pitfalls. So, what do? We stop being alone, first of all. God's source energy does not exist in our mind. It exists in our heart. Our heart needs to be around other human beings to cross-reference the data it's receiving, because the mind is telling lies. And only when we cross-reference the data we're receiving with other loving human beings do we realize that we are not the thoughts in our mind, but we are the actions of our heart. So, for me, I had to realize that I could no longer be isolated. That my disease, my self-talking mind wants me to be alone. Wants me to be on top of some mountain by myself, flipping off the world, saying this is all screwed. But the minute I came down off the mountain and I got around other people and I allowed God, source energy, other people to help me, because I had to ask other people to help me. Just like this person reached out to me and sent me an email saying, hey dude, I need some help over here in Sweden, man. I'm getting dark. I'm getting some suicidal thoughts. I'm getting depressed. Look, when you begin to get around other people, you begin to find out other things. First of all, your thoughts aren't who you are. But secondly, you realize that you're not doing your spacesuit any help by feeding it drugs and alcohol, or feeding it toxic food, or feeding it inactivity. Your body is meant to be active, right? So, you know, it's one of those things, like maybe we're depressed because we're just sitting around the house being a lump on a log. Now, I got it, man. This cat was emailing me from Sweden, which has some phases of basically perpetual darkness going on up there in the northern hemisphere. And when I used to live in the Pacific Northwest, our daytime was really short, right, during the winter. And we used to get, you know, it's a diagnosed problem called SAD. And basically SAD is because you're not getting exposed to sunlight. You're not getting enough, I think it's vitamin B, right? And serotonin and all this stuff that your body needs. Your body needs sunlight, right? So what I would say to person, if you're just maybe try this, is go to somewhere that has light. Dude, I'm not, look, I live in Southern California. It's sunny, man. I get plenty of sunlight. Dude, but if I was living up north, I might go to like a tanning room or a place that has ultraviolet, whatever the light is. I don't know what this, ultraviolet light, right? Isn't that what it is? Anyway, maybe I'd go get some artificial sunlight if I can't actually get some sunlight from the sun because I'm in perpetual darkness during the winter time. And then also, yeah, man, you're in the darkness all the time and it's cold. You probably don't want to go out and be physically active, but maybe you need to change that. Maybe there's something you need to do, whether it's go to the gym, whether it's go snowshoeing, whether it's just go walk around the block in your parka. I don't know. All I know is when I sit around too long, I get bummed, right? But also I've known what's helped me is once I began to change my frequency, once I began to become a more positive human being, other positive human beings gravitated towards me, and I was no longer isolated and alone, right? At some point, you've got to push the pebble off the cliff and get it rolling down the hill to make a snowball, right? The first beginning part of it is the hardest part, is going to ask someone for help. If you're lucky enough to be addicted to drugs and alcohol, the help's real easy. You just go check in with the 12-step program. If you have other afflictions, there are other ways to go check in. And I'm one of those, man. Maybe you need to go see a doctor and get on some meds. That's not my trip. People have told me I need meds. What I needed was just to start loving myself. And once I started loving myself, I allowed other people to love me, man. And all of a sudden, I don't get depressed like I used to. I live with the hologram and the minigram and baby owls on the way. Like, my life has changed from the dude 5 years ago who was flipping off the world on top of a mountain, isolated and alone, right? I began to treat my perception of myself with help from other people showing me that I need to make conscious contact with the power greater than myself. And there lies the truth, that I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and the stuff that's going on in my mind is not who I am. Who I am is a loving being of infinite time, space, depth, dimension that was created by the source energy that doesn't make mistakes. It is only my perception of self that allows me to think that I'm imperfect. So we gotta go seek self-help, which comes in many forms. It may be going and talking to someone you pay to talk to. It may be just talking to some strangers in a room every night for an hour about what's going on with you. It may be calling some sort of hotline. It may be just sending me an email and making me write a video and letting you know that you're not alone, that lots of people suffered from depression. Lots of people have suicidal thoughts. But the thing is those thoughts are not real. And as I've heard it said many a time, don't solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution, right? Look, life's hard, man. Life's got all sorts of things going on, and part of it is letting go, dude. Letting go of the nonsense in your mind and getting with other people. and allowing other people to help you be who you are. Like, for example, I'm on the road. I was a little bit depressed earlier in this week, just life, right? And all of a sudden, Josh Peacock sent me a text and was like, you need to be out in the middle of the desert on Sunday at noon to skate this pool. And it was like, okay, that was the universe talking to me saying, hey, look, dude, you need to mix it up. You need to go skate. You need to go get with some other people. I'm sending one of these agents of mine to come spark you, right? And he sparked me, and I'm on the move, and I'm making videos, and I'm talking to you, and I'm feeling better about myself because I'm not sitting around my little universe called my hometown trying to figure out what's going on. I don't care right now. I'm just on the freeway in the now, driving behind a Prius, looking at the mountains, making a video of you about being happy, dude. What is happiness? Happiness is just having peace in your life. So look, to my friend in Sweden, to anyone out there, change what you're doing. If you're depressed and have suicidal thoughts, reach out to other human beings and say, hey, I am here. I am alive. Let's do something. Let's talk. Let's communicate. Let's go get a cup of coffee. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a jog. Let's go whatever it may be. Let's just get me out of my doldrums. And look, dude, what is it? What do they say? My final cliche right now is, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a simple footstep. Today, I had to take one footstep out the door to get to the car, to turn the car east and drive for 3 hours to go skate a pool, right? But my life is now different than it was a week ago because I'm in action. It's about being in action. The human body and the human spiritual self are supposed to be in action. And look, dude, the true answer to all of it is to go help another human being elevate their frequency, right? That's the greater mission. And when you're doing that, the universe will provide everything you need and remove the depression and suicidal thoughts. I hope that helps. This is The Illusion. Gonna get back to Interstate 10.